we have another blockbuster trade in NFL free agency as Stefon Diggs is headed to the Buffalo Bills. What is going on, y'all? Fox Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL here to bring you guys the latest and greatest NFL news, rumors, trades, reports, everything else. So you guys want to stay tuned and locked to the channel. So go ahead and subscribe and follow me on my social media. Links down below it on the screen for that. Got a lot to get to talk about with this move, what the Vikings got, what the Bills got, and the implications for both teams, and who really won this trade. I'll explain all of that right now. So let's go through the full trade details before I get into my analysis here. And quite simply, it is this. The Buffalo Bills get Stefon Diggs and a 7th round draft pick for the Vikings, who are going to get a 1st round pick, a 5th round pick, a 6th round pick, and a 4th round pick next year in 2021. So that is the haul that the Vikings get for Stefon Diggs. Now, before I even say about anything about the analysis, let me just say we knew this was coming. Not Stefon Diggs going to the Bills, but we knew Stefon Diggs was going to get traded. Why? Because he basically tweeted out today, it's time for a new beginning. And we have heard rumors about Stefon Diggs wanting to move on from Minnesota. So it was more to me a matter of when and not if. Now, what his issue really is in regards to not staying with the Vikings, I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, last season, the offense wasn't that great when Kirk Cousins wasn't throwing the ball a lot. And then later down in the season, obviously, they opened up that offense and it got a lot more pass-friendly. But in the beginning of the year, they were a run-heavy team. And so that could play a part into it. Either which way, Stefon Diggs had his issues, and so he was going to get traded, okay? We didn't know who to and where he was going to get traded. It turns out it is the Buffalo Bills. And let me just start there with the Bills. The Bills upgrading their wide receiving game. This is fantastic for them because Stefon Diggs is a fantastic receiver. He is one of the most underrated receivers in the NFL. Can pretty much do it all, really. He doesn't get the notoriety that like one of the top receivers does, like a Julio, Devontae, DeAndre Hopkins, who I'll get to in a second. He doesn't get that notoriety, but he's still a very good receiver, okay? And he's got another receiver, or he did, in Adam Thielen on his team that would, obviously get a lot of the targets as well. But Stefon Diggs is a number 1 receiver in this league, and he is going to be the Bills' number 1 receiver, even though they have John Brown. John Brown, to me, is a specialist, and he was playing the role of a number 1 receiver because they didn't have anybody else, okay? Stefon Diggs is going to come in there. He is going to be that number 1 guy. He's going to move John Brown over to the number 2, and now you got Cole Beasley in the slot, and that is his traditional role. So this is going to be great because here's the thing. Josh Allen, we know he's got a cannon, and so he's going to look for Diggs and John Brown deep, and this is going to open up that offense even more. Everybody knows, even though the Bills made the playoffs last year, there were a lot of doubters, myself included, and it mainly revolved around the offense. Everybody knew the Bills' defense was legit, but could we trust and depend on that offense? And really, we didn't feel like they had that much in terms of weapons and talent. And now you've got some legitimacy to that offense with Stefon Diggs. And so, like I said, I like it for the Buffalo Bills, but I love this move for the Minnesota Vikings. And that's funny, I'm sure, to hear because they're losing Stefon Diggs. But hear me out. This haul, okay, this haul that I just showed you guys, the 1st, 5th, 6th, 4th, this is the haul the Texans should have gotten for DeAndre Hopkins. This is the haul you get when you trade away an all-pro, Pro Bowl wide receiver. Not what the Texans got today, which was blasphemy, in the words of Stephen A. Smith, and was a 2nd round and a 4th round pick, in which Bill O'Brien should be fired on the spot today for making that trade one of the worst trades in NFL history, if not the worst. This trade by the Vikings is how you get equal or about equal compensation back for a star player. And I say that to say the Vikings, if they knew that they were going to move on from Stefon Diggs, this is a hell of a package This is the difference. We didn't know if DeAndre Hopkins was upset with the Houston Texans. Now, he didn't want to restructure his deal, but we don't know if that meant, oh, restructure my deal or trade me. Again, just saying. But with the Vikings, that's a haul right there, folks. That is a haul. And so the Vikings know that they still have Adam Thielen. They're going to go ahead and use all these draft picks, maybe, bundle them up to get a better draft pick, or go ahead and draft some, receivers, and they know they can find one that way. And so to me, this is a win-win. I don't hate it for either side, but I will say in terms of what the Vikings got, being in the situation that they were going to be in where they knew they were going to lose Stefon Diggs and they had to trade him, usually then you're bargaining from a lesser point of power, and yet they were still able to get that haul. So to me, love this move from the Minnesota Vikings, but a solid trade for the Buffalo Bills as well. Both teams win, and I love to see it. I love trades like this, obviously, where both teams benefit. So there you have, folks, my full thoughts on this trade between the Buffalo Bills and the Minnesota Vikings. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Please make sure to subscribe as always. Thanks for watching.